So Sri Lanka, fortunately, has been one of the few countries with even modest means has been able to control the epidemic more effectively than the other, even more resourced countries. And this is thanks to a well-established public health system, especially for communicable disease surveillance, the proactive actions that have been taken by the government of Sri Lanka. The response in Sri Lanka has been guided by public health and science, and this has helped in setting up all that was required very early on in the pandemic to set up the surveillance system, to ramp up the testing capacity, to do the surge capacity of hospitals in case more people were affected. And later on, when there were repatriations that happened because of people returning back to the country, so setting up the quarantine facilities. So all these have helped in diagnosing early, taking care of the cases, and managing the epidemic within the capacity of the health systems that were not overwhelmed. And I must say that in the pandemic, the role of other sectors has also been critical. So it was truly a whole of society and whole of government approach. And community engagement has been critical because without involvement of communities, it is difficult to control the spread of the virus. And it built on the strong public health system, especially for communicable disease surveillance that already exists. And the response has been technically led by Ministry of Health, and there is also community participation and engagement engagement of other sectors. So everyone in the world is looking forward to having a vaccine because we still do not have the therapeutics, that is, the treatment. So there has been a lot of research and development both in the therapeutics as well as in the development of vaccines. Currently, as we speak, there are almost 160 candidate vaccines, of which 23 are already in clinical trials, and of those, 15 candidate vaccines are in phase 3 clinical trials. That means they have moved on into human trials. So we hope that we would be having a vaccine, a candidate vaccine that is effective and safe very soon. One must realize that development of vaccine generally takes years, but for the COVID-19, WHO is working with partners to fast-track the research and development into vaccines, and that doesn't mean that we are compromising on quality. So we hope that we would be able to have the vaccine, but more important, or as important as the development of the vaccine is to ensure that we have the supply chain and distribution so that everyone who needs the vaccine has access to the vaccine. And for that, WHO is working with partners to have more equitable distribution of these vaccines when they become available. One more thing of note is that within 60 days of identification of this new virus, which was later named as COVID-19, vaccine trials had started. So this is something which is a huge achievement.